I know many of you are Sézane lovers like me, and when I started to see those little sneak peeks of their new autumn collection, I knew it was going to be good. And I have to say, I think that this might be my favorite yet. And so I wanted to do something a little bit different. I don't think I've ever done this before, but I thought we could do a little bit of a browse through the lookbook. And then I want to publish this to go live around the time that the collection will be available to shop. So then you can kind of see my feedback on items that I think would be a great purchase and ones that I would probably avoid and why. And I will link kind of my favorites down below. I might even try and do a corresponding blog post if I have time. So all of that info will be down in the description box. I thought this could just be really helpful, a little bit of fun, but also to get a bit of an insight into how my mind as a stylist works and also the things I'm considering when I am doing personal shopping for my clients. So I'm gonna pull my laptop up here and I might just make myself small on screen so that you can get the full preview of the lookbook. And I'll probably be looking down a lot, but yeah, let's go through it together. And actually, I want to know, what are you thinking about buying? I have my eye on a few things, but I'm probably, if I'm realistic, only going to buy one or two. It is Saturday here. It is 28 degrees Celsius and it is winter. So there's no chance of me getting to really wear any of these things right now, and I'd be buying them for next year, and I know that's always risky business. Anyway, let's bring up the lookbook. The thing I was immediately drawn to was the quite distinct color scheme. So the hero imagery of this collection is rooted in those very autumnal hues of brown, that kind of ochred mustard color, and then also red. And then we're also seeing a lot of this sort of chambray blue and then a swampy green in the collection too. So first thing I'm seeing here is the tote, and this actually just launched last weekend, I believe. It is their newest bag style, and I think it is very chic. It reminds me a lot of the Celine Cabas, and I am loving the fact that it's coming in a patent, because to me, it feels like it's going to be quite robust and also adds this really fun high shine element into your outfit. So I mean, it's $580, so you could buy a more affordable option if that's sort of out of your price point. So then we've got a few jackets here. The Marlis jacket, which is this lovely terracotta colored one, which looks like it's got press studs down the front. I think that would be really, really chic. We have the Michelle jacket, which I've tried before, in this absolutely beautiful red. I think that is so striking. And then the Victor coat, which is in a lovely red check with a yellow accent to it. Now, I just did a quick double check, and assuming that the composition is the same as their previous season Victor coats, this is 100% wool. So while it is expensive, you are buying a quality product, and Sézane coats generally are lined. So I think that is very, very stunning. And one common theme that I'm thinking about, that I'm considering when I am buying these more expensive items from Sézane, is the fabric composition. I want it to be 100% natural fibers, and this is really kind of, I would say, my motive across the board, because those are going to be the things in your wardrobe that are going to end up enduring, being more comfortable to wear, and also being easy to care for. And I think that that last one is a really important point. So moving down, I can see some of their other core staples, the Andrea loafers, which are quite fun if you want a bit of a high contrast moment. Then we've got the Gabin bag, which is a core staple for Sézane, but then they've also done it in that patent leather. So same thoughts as before. That is an enormous bag, by the way. Then going down, I am obsessed with this particular color combo. Camel and red, I just think is a match made in heaven, and I really love this styling. I think they've absolutely nailed it. So I'm really loving the color of the Andrew coat. I think this is a very nice muted camel that's a little bit deeper and richer than the usual kind of light bright camel that we see. I believe if this is the same composition as previous Andrew coats, it'll be a wool and cotton mix, which I'm personally quite happy with. I think it's going to be a nice length to about kind of a mid-calf. The Geo jumper I would probably avoid. My general experience with Sézane knitwear is that you want to be buying their merino or their cotton knits, or alternatively the EcoVero lensing knitwear, which is also very robust. It's really soft, but it also washes well. I have found that all of the synthetic blend knits that I've bought from Sézane just never feel quite the same after you put them in the wash, or they need to be dry cleaned, and that is just too high maintenance for me. The Aldo trousers, I'm very curious to see if they've got a better, here we go, so better photo of it. So these are a full length pant, and they're kind of that fluid drape style. I would say, judging by the model, they're a mid-rise, so I would consider those, but probably something I'm personally going to avoid, just because I prefer a high rise. They'll be very easy to get taken up as well. And then we've got that Gabin bag in the suede, which is Very alluring. I've seen so many brands bringing out suede bags at the moment. Okay, coming down, I think we need a better view of these items. Okay, so we have the Tara blouse and Megalia skirt. This skirt almost has a bit of a patchwork effect to it. I really like it though. This looks like it is quite a stiff fabric. It's probably in a cotton or a polyester blend. And I would say that it is not going to be ideal for someone who is a bit curvier around the hips. I think a really beautiful option if you want to bring a bit of a print into your work wardrobe actually. The Tara blouse, I'm not 100% sure what that one might be. Is it the little button-up vest in the suede? Possibly at $370, it's maybe the vest. I think that this is fun, but probably going to be quite difficult to style. And then over on the other side, we've got the Ryla coat, which is the matching piece to the Megalia skirt. I think that's really fun, but the composition almost looks a little bit synthetic to me, and it's also quite a statement piece. So I wouldn't want to be adding too many of those to my wardrobe. The Meliora skirt, I'm going to say is the suede skirt, the longer one, which I'd love. Look at the front of it. Sézane's imagery, honestly, always leaving a lot to the imagination. And then the Nihir skirt, which looks like a classic A-line skirt. I'm hoping we'll get a better look at that, but that'll be nice, I'm sure. I haven't bought any of Sézane's leather or suede pieces that are apparel, and I would really like to. So maybe that's what I might do this year, though I won't get a chance to wear it. Okay, so moving down to the Monique High Mary Janes. I'm loving this mock crop leather, but I do think that these are probably going to be quite a stiff, rigid leather that require a bit of breaking in. Don't quote me on that, but just based on the appearance and the images and my general experience with this sort of leather. On the other side here, we have this lovely herringbone, and I'm seeing this popping up in quite a lot of the campaign imagery. The Chelsea jacket, I wish we had a longer picture of that. I'm not sure if we do, but that looks like a coat. And then we've got the Marlin blouse underneath, which I can't tell whether it is strapless or not. And then the Martin trousers, which are a classic style for the brand, but I'm assuming that one there is going to be a wool blend. So one I would be buying if I really, really love the style and thought it would be a great one to add into my wardrobe. Now we've got some of their resin jewelry. I'm loving this kind of tortoise resin. The Claude necklace, I keep looking at this and I just think it is so utterly sweet, but I know I would never wear it. It's a little bit too cute for me, but I think absolutely sweet. Oh, here, okay. I think, is this the Nate coat? Hang on. The Smith jacket, I think, is very, very cool, but I just wish it was a little bit longer because I can see where it hits on the model. It's probably going to cut off at my personal widest point, and so I know that wouldn't be the right kind of style for me. I am hoping they're going to bring out another quilted jacket that's maybe a bit longer, sort of similar to the belted one that they had last season. Now I'm excited to see the Nisia dress come back, and it's coming back in a lot of different colors. I bought this last autumn winter and it was a sellout. It sold out in 20 minutes, I believe. Kind of really had to get in quick to get that one. And it runs really, really big. So I got the AU8, US4, French 36, and I should have gone a size down. And I just found because of that, because there was so much fabric, I didn't really reach for it at all. So I decided to sell mine in the hopes that it would come back. So I potentially might reorder that, but I do not need another black dress in my wardrobe. I don't think that the leather one would be something I would wear all the time, but it comes in a green, and hopefully I can highlight that for you a little bit further down. Then we have the clothes shirt, which is one of my favorite styles that Sézane does, and it looks like it's been reimagined here in a cotton. So just judging by the photos here, that's what it looks like. Has a lot of embroidery on it. I think this here is where you're getting a lot of value for your money, because embroidery, all of the sort of lace trim, you can see that there is a lot of work that has gone into this blouse, a lot more than the standard design of their clo blouses. So I think that that is actually really well represented in the price there, because they do a very standard pricing across all the different fabrications, which yeah. Then we've got the Nate coat, which this feels like Sézane's answer to Totem's scarf coat. I will have my autumn most worn video going live tomorrow, which I'm hoping will be helpful for those of you in the Northern Hemisphere. And I've got a whole load of scarf coat alternatives or options for you to browse through. So I think this one looks really cool, but I can't tell, is it 100% wool or not? I know it will be lined, but I just think that the fabric looks really, really stiff, and I probably want something that is a little bit more soft and drapey, especially for that scarf effect around the neck. Here we go. We've got a better look at that Marlin blouse that I mentioned earlier. I would probably avoid this just as, I think, unless you can try it on in store, stuff that is strapless, I don't know. I don't really know where you're wearing a strapless top like that with the buttons down the front. To me, it feels like something people are only taking photos of themselves in for Instagram. So I don't know. The Valerio jacket though, love this. This is basically an update of a style they do very often. Oh, it's actually very similar to the Tetuan cardigan that I'm wearing right now. I'm assuming that there is probably going to be merino wool. Really, really sweet. I love the buttons too. They look like they've got a bit of a gold sheen to them. That is stunning. I think the color probably wouldn't work well on my personal complexion, but I can see that really working in someone's wardrobe who really suits that sort of autumnal color palette. The Emile's coming in a new color. I quite like that, but it's a little bit pinky. Then we've got the Michelle in a check. I think this check is quite interesting. Okay, the Jacob jumper. This to me looks like an instant no. The fabric looks like it's some sort of a felted wool blended with a polyamide or something like that in there. The second that goes in the wash, if you accidentally or you choose to try and hand wash it, it will probably shrink or it will just come out feeling a bit funny. So I would avoid that. Loving the look of this color for the Claude. We've got the Dakota jacket, which I feel like, here we go, better look at the Dakota jacket. That is a hip length quilted chambray denim jacket. I like this, but I think that it is not going to work for a lot of body types. And look, it kind of reminds me a little bit of the Betty in a way. I love the Betty and I really love it in principle and the idea of it, but I know I don't wear mine as much as I could because if I want to wear it loose, it just cuts me off at a really awkward point, around about the same sort of point as the Dakota jacket. So if you're someone who is wider at the hips, then that's probably a sort of length that you're going to want to avoid. You're going to want something a bit longer, like the Will jacket that we've got here over on the far right. Just going back up, oh, they've redone the Vicky loafers, by the way, in this beautiful chocolate brown, and I've had to do everything in my power to stop myself from buying them because the Vicky loafers are just chef's kiss. They're one of my favorite things that I've ever bought from Cezanne, and I think actually in the brown is probably my favorite color, especially when paired with blue denim. And I mean, I just think it's gorgeous. I'm wondering, is this a new belt here? They've got no details, but I'd be very curious about that. They've got some new washes in the Le Crop, Bridget low boots. These are kind of a Western style slouchy boot. I don't find that sort of thing works for me personally as someone who does have shorter legs, but I think if you were really quite statuesque, those would be beautiful. Another look at that Marlis jacket. Oh, here's the front on image of it. I mean, that is such a stunning looking jacket. I love the color, and also it paired with that jumper, the Simon jumper. That is a beautiful terracotta hue. I mean, stunning. Okay, more of the bag. Okay. This jumper here, the Luke jumper, the second I saw this, I thought, oh, that is gorgeous. Look at those embroidered flowers that are on the sleeves. I mean, this has got to be one of the standouts, I would say, from the entire collection. But you just know that this is going to be a synthetic blend, and I'm sure it's probably really soft. But for me, I'm thinking about the comparison point between how it will look when I've just bought it versus how it will look after owning it for months and laundering it. So I don't think that that is one that would fare well unless you are prepared to spend money on dry cleaning, and I really try to limit that specific expense in my own wardrobe. So absolutely gorgeous, but that one's a no from me. The Ambre shirt, I think this is another great value for money shirt because of all of that embroidery. I think that this print is really quite beautiful if you're someone who does enjoy something that is a little bit more bold and loud. They've got the Mini Milo Classic in, is that a metallic croc embossed leather and suede? Wow, okay, that looks phenomenal, like quite sort of disco-esque. I'm not mad about it. Okay, going down a little bit more, what else do we have? Another look at that clothes shirt there, which is really pretty. Some more looks at the details here. I love that contrast button at the top of the Ambre shirt. I think it's very, very nice, and Cezanne always do their details really, really well. the Katarina dress, which looks like it's either a midi or a maxi. I like the fact that this doesn't have a collar, as that can sometimes feel a little bit overwhelming around the neck. It's got the buttons all the way down the front. And one thing you can do with dresses like this is that you can wear them loose or fully open, just like a jacket, or you can wear just kind of the top few buttons done up and then have it open from, say, the waist down, worn over a pair of pants. So I love items like that because it gives you so much versatility. You've got a lot of room to play around with the styling. Okay, here we've got the Pharrell jacket, which I think is probably one of my favorite pieces in the collection. I love this check. It looks like it's a deep olive with a terracotta red running through it. This, I'm assuming, is probably going to be 100% cotton, fully lined. I would love if it was reversible. Maybe it's khaki green on the other side. So I'm really curious to see some more details on that. And that's probably something I personally will be making a beeline to when the new collection launches. And can we just take a moment for this chair as well? I really love mid-century modern design, and that is really singing to my heart. Okay, the Violet Babies. I keep looking at shoes like this. They remind me of Docs that I wanted to buy when I was younger, but I always felt were just a little bit too preppy for me. I would be curious to actually try them and see how they work. But with the socks, I think maybe it's a little bit too juvenile for my own personal style. I don't know, but those definitely caught my eye. Okay, I've talked about this already, but I'm definitely not into the whole like Jane Birkinifying your bag just for the sake of it. Okay, Edith jumpsuit. I never look at jumpsuits because I have a long torso. Most of the time they are just not the right length for me, but great if you are someone who has more of regular proportions or a shorter torso. The Aladdin Mary Janes remind me a lot of the Corelle Mary Janes, that, you know, that sort of very classic French girl style. The Melanie Mary Janes, I think, are a really compelling one for me, especially in this beautiful rich oxblood burgundy color. I love the patent high shine, though I think these are probably not going to be the most comfortable to initially wear in, especially if you have wider feet. So they're probably going to be a style better for those with narrow feet, but I think gorgeous. Another color that color is stunning, by the way, this red wine color. Lovely. Although another thing to note about those Mary Janes is that yes, they are going to cut you off at the ankle because of the strap. I quite like these Damiano trousers in the suede. They look pretty cool, and they're probably going to be a little bit forgiving as well because of the suede. They'll be a little bit softer, a little bit more malleable. Got another look at the Marlis jacket, this time in a leopard print, which I feel like they've done an ICAP print at least, very similar to that in the past. The Angie cardigan I'll be avoiding like the plague. There's a Michelle jacket and Malia set in the green check is really pretty. Okay. This one here though, the Lauren jumper, coming soon, but that color is stunning. Sort of a fern, swampy green. Stunning. Here we go, here we go. This is the Nicia dress that I was talking about before in the green, and I just think that this is such a beautiful color. It's really sort of rich, it's got a lot of depth, and I quite like that sort of darkness to it, especially with the way the light's reflected on it, the way they've styled it with the shirt underneath. It feels very kind of preppy, though you don't need to do that. I probably wear a merino long sleeved, but so stunning. Here we have the loose shirt, which I also think is another really beautiful one. And again, great value for money because you have that lovely kind of lace trim. The Chiara trousers, these are such a slim fitting little pant with almost a kick flare at the ankle. I quite like these, though I wish maybe in a different color. The tight jacket, I want to know what this is made out of. This is, whenever I look through the lookbook, this is honestly the first thing I'm thinking is, what is this made out of? It looks very fuzzy, but I would probably skip this one just because of the length of it. I don't think I could wear it as casually as I could the cardigan I have on now. The Maderic coat I think is absolutely gorgeous, and this is a favorite. I know for many it's 100% wool. It's a double-faced coat. I wish I'd bought it in the powder blue from last year. I think that that was such a standout. This green is also obviously really, really pretty, but that's probably been one of my favorite colors I've seen it come in. I also really love the Lulu trousers being reimagined in this check, though it does kind of feel a little bit pajama-esque, if I say so myself, especially I think paired with the green. Just going down a little bit more. Oh, the Susie coat is another one that I'm really, really liking, though I think a little bit of an awkward length for me, and I do hope that they bring out a longer version. They do this sometimes where they have a style and they bring out a slightly elongated version of it, which then costs an extra couple of hundred, but I think that looks really, really nice. And this looks like it's a double face wool. The color of it is divine. It's almost like a bomber jacket, but not. And what else do we have here? Oh, there's these really stunning dresses, and we're just going to go through. Look, Suzanne suiting across the board is generally really, really nice. So I'm just going to skip through. I feel like I've been chatting so much. Theophile trousers I've tried before, and they're very, very long. So great for tall girls, and I feel like this particular color they've kind of done before. So if you missed out on these last year, or the year before that, they're really great. I really like the Bilma shirt. I don't see anybody talking about this, but I love this kind of caramel and white stripe. I think that is really, really pretty. The way that you've got the contrasting stripe pattern, I think is great. This Samuel jumper they've had for the past month or so, I think. I like the look of it, but I didn't like the composition, so I'd be avoiding it. I love all the suede. I think all this suede is great. It's really fun. It feels a little bit more Western, especially when you kind of have it paired here with this chambray denim shirt. You'll see the Martin crop trousers, which I have in the chocolate brown. They've brought them back in a black, which I think is really chic. And I was saying to someone who was asking me about the pants that I probably would have bought the black ones if they'd come out first, but I'm really glad I've got the brown because I just think it adds a bit more warmth to my wardrobe. I love, love, love this Sadie dress, by the way. This I think is really cute. Let me see if I can find a better picture of it, but it's in, it looks like it's a flannel. And I think that would be just a really nice, easy, cozy piece. Hang on, I'm just going to see if I can scroll down. Here it is here. So it buttons all the way down. So you could also wear it like a long shirt, worn open. And love the possibilities. You could belt it at the waist. I just think that would be fun to layer with. And I like this little styling with the olive bandana. The fact that it's kind of a dark, sort of desaturated blue. Interesting color. I'm just going to see if I missed anything that was really compelling up here. I don't think so. I feel like most of the really exciting things were at the top of the collection. There's a lot to go. Honestly, this is a big autumn drop, I have to say. I wasn't expecting to see so many things. Oh, here's a better look at that check. You can see just how pretty it is. I think I may end up adding that one to cart because I think that would be a good option for me as we head into spring here. This Rita jacket, I've been looking at, I mean, so many brands are doing these now, and I've already got a couple of these waistcoats, but I think this one is actually really cute if you want something that hits around the waist that isn't too long. Oh, this here is probably one of my favorite prints in the collection, this leopard print in the large scale. And again, I'm also thinking about this Eloane skirt. Here's a better look at it. It's got a split down the center, though this is going to be more of a formal fabric. It's a jacquard. It is going to have absolutely no give to it, so sizing is going to be a little bit tricky. I'm probably going to have to order 2 sizes to see how I go. It may end up being one that I have to return because it just won't be right for me, but I think that's quite nice and it'll read a little bit more formal. You could easily dial it down. Love this little micro floral on the Gaia blouse. That green, how stunning. Oh, this is another favorite. These two, I think this is actually a really chic little outfit. The Louisa skirt, I think this is in a knit. Can't tell. It's either it's a wool or it's a knit, but I think that looks really like it doesn't have too much structure. It's got a bit of softness to it. And then the Johan jumper, a really good sleeveless ribbed fitted tank that's got a bit of a mock neck to it. Here's another look at that floral. I don't particularly love this dress. I think that it's a bit of an awkward silhouette and shape, the Themis dress. The split detail is nice because you get that movement, but I don't love the way that they've finished off the shoulders here and then the awkward length of it, though that may actually be something that appeals for those who do like it. Then we've got the Farrell jacket, which I think is the one I mentioned earlier, and this time it's in a blue check. Oh gosh, do I like this one better than in the little plaid cotton gingham? This one is Sherpa line. This is going to be really, really thick. It's probably going to have a synthetic component to it, if I'm honest, especially for that price point, but I'm curious to see. I think that is really cool. If you live somewhere cold, I think that's so much fun and would be great to kind of counterbalance more minimal outfits. This little print is really sweet too. It reminds me a lot of Isabel Marant, but without the Isabel Marant price point, and these skirts are generally in a cotton. So another look at it, that's really sweet. Comes in a little vest too. I don't love this particular leopard that they're doing. It feels a little bit cheap to me, just because I remember some of the cheap kind of fast fashion brands that I bought when I was younger, they did a leopard just like this, and now I can never I just can't disassociate the two as a result. Oh, this here, what's it called? The Aran jacket. This is something that I'm really excited by. Looks like it's the same wool as the Nicia dress, has the buttons on the sides, you can wear it completely open, but really fun, interesting layering piece. Loving the blue and grey check of the Rodrigo trousers. I think that is really chic. And then all the new colours of the Paula babies, very pretty. The Paula babies are great if you don't already own a pair. And I think, yeah, there we go. That is it. That is the full collection, a little bit of a run through. I'll only link the ones that I think are worth actually taking a look at down in the description box, because there is a lot in this collection. While I think a lot of it is really lovely, when you are only adding just a handful of items to your wardrobe for the season, you want to make sure that you're buying the best of the best things that you could be spending your money on. So those are my hot takes on Sézane's new autumn collection. I really want to know what you are thinking. Are you planning on buying anything? What are you considering, mulling over? What have you already added to cart? Share with me down in the comments below. Thank you as always for spending some of your day with me. I hope that you found this helpful, and also just getting a little bit of an idea into how I am considering or how I am thinking about these items. The other thing I'm always thinking about in the back of my mind is, does this play well with what I already have in my wardrobe? And I think it'd be helpful to consider, or just try and come up with a few off-the-cuff outfits, ways that you could style it before you're even adding it to cart, even if it's just to try it on at home when you are shopping online, because that could actually be the thing that stops you from potentially buying something that you're going to end up returning anyway. But yeah, that is it from me. I will see you guys tomorrow morning, for my time anyway, with a brand new video, so in about 12 hours time. But yeah, I hope you enjoy and that you had the best weekend. I'll see you soon. Bye.